Peter says, Kenny, if you were to start an education fund for your infant child, which investments would you choose? Well, I've started several different investment funds for several different young individuals within my extended family, and I have either chose a target date fund or a well-diversified balance fund every single time. And here's why. Whenever I invest for very, very important things like a child's future education, I never want to gamble on individual stock picks. While a lot of us will get lucky, there's many stocks that eventually fail. The best way, in my eyes, to invest for people in my family for that particular event is a target date fund, which will be conservative enough for them to sell and have ready to use once they reach graduation age and move on to college. Mary says, how do you manage your investments when you invest in 10 to 20 companies? Well, a lot of my management, so to speak, of the companies that I own happens before I purchase them. I'm a long-term investor, so once I buy it, I buy quality and I hold quality. I rarely ever sell a stock. I can count on one single hand how many times I've actually sold one of my stocks ever in my lifetime. So there's not a lot of day-to-day management. I'll read earnings reports, maybe I'll catch a news article, I'll make sure the dividend is paid. But other than that, it's a fairly passive investment. Some people think it's quite boring, but I really invest to have freedom and to enjoy the money, not really for the specific investment itself, so to speak. So as long as I purchase quality, I feel like I don't really need to manage too much. Also, I do own a lot of funds, which I pay an expense ratio for them to be managed by themselves. Nick says, what are your thoughts on Coke, Pepsi, McDonald's, Colgate, and Clorox? All of them have been paying dividends for over 30 years, and all are solid multinational corporations. Well, Nick, I own Coke, Pepsi, McDonald's, love McDonald's. That was my first job. In fact, I made a video about that. I don't own Colgate individually. I do own it within several funds of mine that I own, and I do own Clorox stock. I really like all of them. Probably my favorite at this point in time is either McDonald's or Clorox. I love their business model, I love their products, and I really think they'll be around for many decades to come. Love those companies. Ryan says, what's your thoughts on American Water Works? I love American Water Works. I own them. I also own Aqua America, which is another major American water utility. What's interesting about the United States in general is we have crumbling water infrastructure. So these types of utility companies are actually buying entire municipal water systems from municipalities that don't know how to manage them in the utmost efficiency. And these companies come in, rebuild them, and they instantly have all that customer base that is essentially forced, if they want to turn on their faucet or take a shower, do any laundry, wash their car, whatever they want to do, they're essentially forced to pay these utility companies. That's typically how utilities work. For more thoughts on Blue Gold, I recently uploaded a video that has some of my expanded thoughts on water and what type of investment I think it will be in the future. Sarah says, if you were brand new to investing and worried about the risks, what would you do? Well, if I was brand new to investing and worried about risks, the first thing I would try to think about is, am I making sure I understand risk correctly? What is risk? What about the risk of not investing? Am I going to have to consistently earn more and more? Can I work for the rest of my life? Will my type of occupation physically allow me to do so? What about time off? If I couldn't invest, I would almost become depressed. So I look at it as this way. The most risky thing that I could do is not invest, right? Not only to fight inflation, but I also enjoy my time, right? The most valuable commodity on earth is our time. So, the more I invest, the more freedom I achieve. Of course, there's risks. There's many different types of risks, but that's what I would do. The first thing I would do is try to understand all the different types of risk. I would challenge you to look at it in the opposite direction, saying, what is the risk of not investing? That's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.